Who signed off on a deal to lower the threshold to recall the mayor after reportedly signing the petition herself, is asking the state Supreme Court if she should recuse herself from the case and any future appeals. The Times-Picayune reports Judge Jennifer Medley signed the petition to recall Mayor Cantrell in December. Earlier this month, she signed off on an agreement made by recall organizers and the Secretary of State's office. It lowered the number of signatures needed to trigger a recall by 5,000 names.